MixPanel tracks the actions users take in web and mobile applications, and they've gathered some analytics on Apple users, and they're going to share that with us today. Suhail Doshi is the CEO of MixPanel and joins us now. Suhail, good to see you.
Good to see you, John.
So what can you tell us about iOS 10 and the adoption there versus iOS 9? This, of course, is important to Apple because it makes the argument to developers it's going to be easier to build apps on our platform, and they're going to work with the latest features. How does it look?
Yeah, the best thing to do is actually to compare iOS amongst users against Android. And what we usually see with Android is that it's heavily fragmented. To give you an example, when iOS 10 was launched, it's now more than 70% of people that use iOS actually use iOS 10, whereas the remaining is either iOS 9 or some older version of iOS.
And Suhail, are you able to get insight into how many people have adopted the iPhone 7 and 7 Plus versus, say, the SE, which is also relatively new in this cycle? How does the mix look for Apple thus far?
Yeah, typically when you look at iPhones, they're typically adopted a bit slower than, say, users adopting an operating system, mostly because you can just simply upgrade. It's just software, it's easy, whereas you have to buy an iPhone. Right now, the way we see it is that about 10% of global usage ends up being people that use an iPhone 7 or an iPhone 7 Plus, compared to the rest of the older iPhones that are available for sale right now.
And for a month or so into this cycle, is 10% pretty good? Can you compare that to last year's cycle or the year before?
Yeah, 10% is pretty good. I think that in previous years, sometimes it can be slower, but this year is actually pretty good. It's also to note that it's actually a whole new version. It's not just iPhone 6 going to iPhone 6s or something like that. And so that means a lot to consumers.
We had a lot of discussion last week about whether or not the Samsung problem was big enough for people to overcome their hesitancy to switch ecosystems. I wonder if you think that's true.
Yeah, I think that, well, I think it's not just Samsung. I actually think that it's a combination of the iPhone 7 in addition to Google's newly launched phone, which is the Pixel. And so a lot of people are saying that they're actually going to switch to one of those two those phones.
And Suhail, what are you seeing in terms of people's reaction to various news about hacking? I mean, we had Yahoo come out in its earnings report and say, hey, look, when we announced the hacking problem, people actually engaged more, and there was speculation that they were just going on to change their passwords. Have you seen any shift in patterns on mobile networks based on some of these very well publicized bouts of hacking that we've reported so much about?
Well, I've never seen a product actually increase in usage as a result of a hack. Generally, you have to log people out or you have to change their passwords. So usually you'll see a decrease. Mobile is certainly an area where there's a threat. I think mobile is brand new, and so a lot of people don't know yet what the vulnerabilities that exist on mobile might be. So I think it will require some time before we're able to know.
All right, Suhail Doshi, CEO of MixPanel, joining us from One Market. Thanks for being with us.
Hey CNBC fans, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Here you're going to find videos packed with all of the information that you need to be smarter about your finances. You can subscribe by clicking right here and click on all the videos around me or the I right here to watch the latest from CNBC. Thanks for watching.